we've been doing the CADET program has been on for about 8.5 years now. I've seen it from its birth all the way through this. And our main agenda was to give back to the NCC community, whatever we've gained from it, and also make sure that the cadets benefit out of whatever our learnings are, and then make them a little bit more employable. And that's what cadet training is all about, right? Comprehensive all-round development and employability training. All of you have joined us in this journey at different points of time. So I want to hear from you as to what your thought was before joining, and then through the years, or just 1 or 2 years for some of us, how things have changed for the better or worse. About your opinion about the entire thing that we're doing here. Bala, we'll start off from you.
It's pretty funny actually, because I had no idea when I joined it. It's actually a trainer called Grenzy was there, if you remember her. So she kind of forwarded a message to me, said, "Why don't you join this?" And I kind of took my time. As like me always, I didn't reply to the message for a very long time. And when there was a deadline, she kind of pushed me into it and said, "Why don't you please sign up for it?" So me joining the organization was pretty accidental. But once when I joined and once when I came to CTOP, I kind of remember that I saw this somewhere in a camp which I was there. So it was, I think, NIC Tezpur somewhere back in 2017 or 18, where I could remember something like this was there also, and a lot of my friends attended that, and I was not part of it. So that's kind of intrigued me to see, okay, let's see what is this. So that was my segue into the organization. But then coming here and to see what things we've been doing for a long time, like in terms of personality development and critical thinking for cadets, that caught my eye. I was like, this is something I can do on my weekends. So kind of a 5-day or 6-day a week which I have in court and everything. It's quite kind of a nice getaway for me from my real life and then come back here. To be honest, that's one of the reasons which I do. And I wanted to do something which is useful or fruitful for others. So I think that objective kind of fit into what the organization is trying to achieve. So that's one of the reasons why I joined. Okay.
Yeah, so couple of reasons I joined this organization. I observed a few trainers, that was Raj, Anirudh, and long back in 2018 when they had come for a camp in Belgaum. So what happened was that time I just went there actually to meet them and not to observe the camp, and they made me observe the camp. That was for 3 days, if I'm not wrong, at that time. And then I just had a good time with them, and that's when I asked them, like, how can we join this organization? So initially at that time it was only for XYP cadets. So they said, there's no scope of you joining at this moment. I said, okay, no problem. We'll catch up maybe some other time. And then I finished my graduation and everything, and it was COVID, I think. Then there is a trainer called Rijuta who pushed me to it. She was pushing me for the last 2 years, and then I was, a little hesitant on joining because I was busy with a lot of other things. And then last year when the deadline came in, she caught me, she took me to her house and she said, "No, we are getting your video recorded and we are sending it. I don't care." So we literally sat in a cafe, we recorded a video and we sent it that you are joining. It was like 2 hours before the deadline which I did it. And then when I joined, and I don't know, it was meeting so many people. I love meeting people, I love interacting with people. So interaction, the all, traveling, and then giving back to NCC. I've been a social worker for the last like 7-8 years. I've been doing different types of social work. So this was a way where I could give back to the community in some way. So impacting and helping people was giving me a sense of satisfaction. And towards the end of the weekend, when I see that, oh yes, I have impacted and created maybe a little difference in someone's life, was giving me a sense of satisfaction. So it was the best decision that I took joining CADET.
I think whenever we say push, right, it also means that trainers in this organization always look out for potential trainers outside. Mm-hmm. They're always in the lookout. So whenever they kind of see someone who's going to fit in that role which they think, I think they kind of push might be a little bigger, harder word, but I think more of like encouraging, or I think. But you get the sense, right? When someone spots someone, they're like, okay, I need this person in the organization. That's the kind of, I think, even as trainers, I think it's something which we do.
That's what you did to me as well. Because I know EXPA cadet program from 2017 itself, through Tantu and Chandrakant. I know, and as Lynn said, I know that only EXPA people can join. Then later, Bala, we were in a reunion, and he told, "You will be right fit for cadet program. Why can't you join?" Then I okay, we will give it a try. Then once I attended C talk, it was like, okay, it is interesting. What next? I hope that okay, I did my best. Whether I get selected or not, I'm not sure. Then I got selected, and then later I did the first camp. The satisfaction that you get from the cadets, saying that it is really useful. I could see, some change in them. So that's what makes us to do another one camp, another one camp, another one.
That's what kept you going.
Yeah.
I have some specific questions for you now, right? One thing that you think is the best thing about the organization as a trainer, and for you, what is that one thing which beats everything else?
So I think I have met about around 40, 45 trainers, new trainers like you from the time I've been doing camps.
Which is how long approximately?
1.5 years.
Okay.
So I think everyone is so welcoming, be it at the age of 22 or be it at the age of 40, 45, 50, 55. Everyone is equally enthusiastic, equally welcoming. But there is no difference that anyone creates amongst you. Like nobody differentiates. Everyone is equally enthusiastic. Everyone is equally welcoming. So that sets it very apart from every other organization. That's what I've felt here.
And every trainer, how they see their life, how they see the training, everything makes our mind and thinking in a broader perspective.
So you think it changed your own perspective?
Obviously.
Can you have an example?
Many examples. Every time we go to different places, different set of people, and how they are welcoming the other culture, and how they are welcoming me, and how it is changing me to welcome the other culture as well. It's kind of different change that people also kind of observing and appreciating me as well.
Some exposure as well. Okay. Bala, if there's one thing that you would want to change about the organization,
one thing that I would like to change, probably maybe where we try a lot to concentrate on to inculcate that encouragement for the cadets for them to speak in English. I think in most of the times where we go, that kind of gets boiled down, I would rather say. So I think it's okay if you speak in Hindi, but something in terms of encouragement that they have that positiveness to see that okay, English is not a big deal. Even if I speak wrong, if I'm able to speak 10 words together, I'm good. So that's the kind of, I think, impact in some way or the other. If we are able to leave, I think that's something I would recommend for a change.
So I've been in Bangalore most of my life. It's a tier 1 city, if you will. You've been in Chennai for most of your life, but both of you have been in a tier 2 town during your schooling days. Do you think English is something that will be useful for people from there? Because my observation has been that it's more regional, the conversation is in the regional language when we move outside the cities or if we move away from the corporate job. So why would English have any value for someone there?
So for me, it is like a tool to get your resources, because not every resources in the world will be in my regional language. I need to go and get it, means I have to know the universal language, and it is a tool and skill that you can use it in your career as well. It is like a booster that you reach into a higher places. So in employability perspective as well, it is really useful.
So it's like maths.
Yeah.
I mean, we need math for a lot of things. Okay. And Hari, one thing that you think. So we spoke about giving back to NCC, gaining so much from NCC. What did you gain from NCC that is keeping you tied to this organization?
So for NCC, I just joined as that also had joining in cadet program also happened as an accidental way. Joining NCC also kind of the same situation where I just went into NCC to bunk classes. So it started like that. Later, it's kind of a routine that makes me being disciplined and all. And later, something meeting new people, going to camps, having something in our routine. And as a person, I was like too naughty and childish person. And as a person, when you get into NCC, you are forced to be in a disciplined way. You have to follow certain rules. And it was a different perspective and exposure for me when I was getting to NCC. That's what I got it from NCC.
Okay, interesting. All right. Before we wrap up, I want to hear some closing thoughts. I have one question or one thing that I want you to think about and also, if you were to invite someone to come and join as a trainer, right? What would you say to this person? They may be a friend, they may be a stranger, they may be anyone out there who's an ex-NCC cadet working in corporate in India, abroad, we don't know. But what would be one thing that you would say, hey, come and join us, become a trainer, you're a great value add for us. We will start with Hari and we'll go around and then come back to me.
Sure. If you're a extrovert person who wants to travel and wants to build a huge network, we have a trainer network where we can connect with different people, different skill sets, different people who are at a different age, so that networking will help. And you can travel when you are going for a training and get exposure to new places and culture. And if you are a kind of a social service person, so you get the satisfaction after every camp that you are doing something which makes some people's life easier and helpful.
Yeah, he's made it hard for you guys. But yeah, what apart from that do you think is a
So I've been talking to a few of my friends already to join cadet program. So I've been telling them, I've told them so much about this that they are waiting when we can join it. So first thing that I always tell them is you're going to meet so many amazing people here, and you're going to have a huge network. Next thing, you get to travel. You get to learn about different cultures. Not just when you're traveling to different states or different cities, you learn so much about their culture. You understand. Oh, when we are example, if you're visiting Rajasthan, so you learn about the food over here is very different. If you visit same with Tamil Nadu, it's very different. So you learn about all these small things when you go there, how people function there, how the city is. So this is one thing that attracts people to join this organization is what I feel, and that's what I've been telling them from quite a long time now.
Bala?
I would rather put this way. When I joined this organization, one question Kishore kind of asked, "What's in it for you?" So I think that kind of answers for anyone who wants to join the organization. As to if I were to answer that question, I think that kind of sums up what happens when you join the organization, or why you need to join the organization. I think for someone who's working 5-day work week, the 2 days where you get a weekend, you'll say, I have washing clothes or something. But if you're someone who's from NCC, you're always that someone who misses that camp experience and that atmosphere where you have drill and everything. So I think that's kind of in a year you might probably need to do only 2 or 3 camps to keep the certification. So imagine just that 3 weekends in a year where you are going to a camp and you experience the NCC lifestyle again in terms of accommodation or food and everything, camp kakana and everything. So I think that's